Hello everyone out there in the Twitch and YouTube land. I'm back playing Dragon Age Inquisition. I apologize for my lateness, but anyway, let's get going. Last time Josephine's was trying to restore her family's wealth, and we met a member from like an assassin that plans on killing her. And now we have the option of A, letting Liliana's assassins just get rid of the contract so we can settle this thing, or we can do it Josephine's way, which is basically talking to multiple sets of people and try to do it peacefully. So, I guess I'm attempting to romance both Josephine and Cassandra at the same time, just to see what happens. So, here we go. I'm gonna go with her way, because that probably seems the better. That will probably seem like the best way to get her to get like more, I guess, romance options. Whatever. Alright, let's go.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
Okay, so let's ask her what's our next move.
You said I'd have to do some favors in Val Royeaux if we want to make the Duparakets lords.
The Countess Dion is our first step. Her lover, a mage from the White Spire, is missing. Bring her news of him and she'll be very amenable to sponsoring the Duparakets as lords.
Okay, this is a war table mission. Alright, so now let's go to the war room and pick that option. Find the sponsor for the do whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Some French name. While playing Dragon Age, I was expecting to have more than 3 options. As far as, like, you know, there's Colin, Liliana, and Josephine as sort of resources or
Crestwood has had no
groups of
further
agents.
trouble with the undead.
After what happened, it will take time for the village to recover.
Oh, and if you happen to see my last video, I defeated my first dragon, which is epic. I love that battle. Okay. This report is ready. If you talk to Cole, you'll find out about these two people in his background. One was like a Templar, one was his friend. You know, some stuff went down, but let's not get into it now. We gotta, you know, stick to business. So let's find. Alright, this is the one we want. And let's just have her do it. This will take 18 minutes.
If it was abandoned when we arrived, who named this place Skyhold?
Solus says it changed hands so many times, the original builders can't be traced. I read the House of Armitage once built a fortress in the vicinity 5 ages ago, but the records are lost.
That's interesting. So our fortress, Skyhold, doesn't really have a background. We don't really know who built it, and apparently the people who built it didn't quite keep a record. And this little spot right here has nothing. Oh well. Alright. We can unlock the Exalted Plains using this one. Using currency called Power. I have 47 because I've been doing a lot of side quests. This is another sort of mission from Sarah, who's quite the interesting character. Alright. Alright, let's see what's in Ferelden. So, this report is ready. Dorian's request. And we get more influence, which is always needed. The more influence you get, the more perks you can purchase, which aids in your gameplay. You can add more inventory space, more potion space, good stuff like that. This mission was for Cassandra. She was worried about missing seekers, and we completed it. More influence, which is always good. There are a bunch of missions sort of around this area. This looks like something that just Liliana can do. So let's have her do it. It's only 20 minutes, so it's not too long.
Inquisitor.
And the two people from Cole's background, we can actually deploy them. And we're gonna, okay, looks like we can have them join the Inquisition, not necessarily at Skyhold, but in other places, which is fine, because Cole did not want them here in Skyhold, so we can at the very least deploy them elsewhere.
All right.
All right, and that's it. We only have three I guess resource agents we can call upon, so in about 20 minutes we can come back and get reports in. And that's it for the War Council. As we see, Cole, Dorian, Cassandra, we all got approval because we did their war table missions, which helps with approval. Let's find out if there's any added conversation when we deploy these certain missions.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
I guess not. We'll probably come back
Let's speak later.
Another time.
when that mission is done. Looks like when that mission is done, we'll come back to her. So let's go talk to Cassandra because her mission was completed. And it looks like Skyhold was not loaded. That's cool. Oh, some of it just loaded. More is being loaded a little bit. Well, folks, it looks like you saw some of the assets being used to create Skyhold, which is always interesting. Saw those 3D models in space. That's always nice to know. Alright. I don't think that's quite practicing swordplay, but let's not judge. At least not yet.
I understand the Inquisition has tracked down the missing Seekers. Care Oswin. I didn't see Ban Loren as the sort of nobleman that would become involved in this war. The sooner we go there, the sooner I can put this search behind me.
Alright. Let's ask for some advice.
Do you have any advice for me?
Nothing that you could not think of yourself, Inquisitor.
That's
Okay.
enough for now.
Another time, then.
Alright, it looks like we need to open up a new area to find
Inquisitor.
whatever Cassandra is looking for. Let's put it on the active list. I think the place is called Sierra Owen. I forgot that. I forgot. Okay. Also, a point of interest, I changed my little throne to a dragon's head. Not the Game of Thrones ones that they give you. I mean, come on, this looks cooler. An actual dragon's head. Because I actually did kill a dragon. So there. Alright, let's find where she is talking about.
It's a bit cold in here, don't you think? We are in the mountains.
I'm more concerned about everything scattering whenever there's a draft.
Hmm. I am not finding this place. Alright, not there. No. Huh. Oh, maybe it's this one up here. Oh no. Then I wonder where it could be.
I've arranged an accord between the Marquis and the Dowager. Wonder of wonders. Perhaps they can be useful to us after all.
That seems really odd that I haven't found it yet. Alright, this is the main mission, or story mission. It's for recommended level 12, 15, so we're not quite there yet, so. Seems really odd that it's not on the map. Huh. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong mission? It says I can unlock an area. At least I should unlock an area. And nope, I can't press the start button to look at the journal. Alright, use the road map to travel to Sierra Owen. Okay. Then I'll use the world map. Oh, alright. Well, should have followed directions. Okay, we have to take Cassandra, and my party is composed of Dorian and Vivienne, because I like having two mages wreaking havoc on the battlefield while me and Cassandra is the tank, and I'm just basically attacking, wreaking havoc all over. I love it. Let's go. Alright, here we go. Very luscious green. Let's take a look at our map. It looks like we don't really have a home base here. So I don't really know how big the map is. Or at least the general size of it. So let's just go in one direction and see what happens.
Care Oswin. Odd that the trail should lead us here. Ban Loren is a pious, unassuming man. What has he become involved in?
He might simply be a victim as well.
Let's see what lies within.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is it. Bad guys. Alright. Let's, take care of these guys.
Promises. I should have known. The Order of Fiery Promise is a cult with strange beliefs about the Seekers. They've hounded us for centuries.
Oh, if one of your characters starts talking, sometimes they'll allow you to have additional dialogue. Press the right thumbstick, and you can start a conversation.
What kind of strange beliefs?
They believe they are Seekers, the only rightful ones. They say we robbed their powers long ago, preventing them from ending the world.
Ending the world?
The only way to truly eradicate evil in their eyes, the world will be reborn a paradise. It's all nonsense.
Why haven't the Seekers dealt with them?
We have, many times. They simply reappear after a time like weeds. Nobody knows how.
Is it possible to negotiate with them?
They're fanatics, drunk on whatever forbidden magic they can find to make themselves true Seekers. This explains why the Seekers might be here, but not the connection to Corypheus.
Okay. Looks like we stumbled upon a cult. Which, as we all know, cults in Dragon Age are not good. Not good at all. What we just picked up is something for the Way of the Templar for your, additional abilities. And for those of you who've noticed that, my character's voice has changed, this happened after I customized my Hawk character, and Bioware is aware of this bug. Hopefully, they'll have a patch soon to fix this. But for now, we'll have to deal with a voice that I'm not too fond of. But the show must continue.
A seeker. Did they torture him to death? The Promisers will pay for this.
Uh-oh. One of Cassandra's people is dead. Maybe torture, maybe not, but looks like we have no choice but to take these guys out. On smaller enemies, when Dorian uses fear, it's kind of funny. Definitely weakens them and allows me to just do whatever. I also started the Battle Master ability. Allows me to chain people like this. But, oh, well, he was dead, so that didn't really matter. And these guys are not really high level anyway, at least for me. As you can see. Alright, we need to find the courtyard key. Because in every RPG, somebody has a key, and we need to find it. I'm surprised they didn't say silver key to find a gold key, to find a blah 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 key. Alright, we found it.
As the Seekers of Truth have proven resistant to the effects of red lyrium, the Elder One has seen fit to place them in your care. Reclaim your destiny, and know that the Elder One expects your devotion as repayment. Signed by Lord Samson, Commander of the Red Templars.
Uh-oh.
Does Corypheus not realize the Promisers want the world to end? What use are they to him?
So Corypheus sold the Seekers to these cultists.
And they leapt at the chance, of course. But this doesn't explain how he captured the Seekers in the first place, or what's been done with them. We must keep looking.
The letter said Seekers were resistant to red lyrium.
Our abilities grant us many gifts, but a resistance to red lyrium's corruption? That seems strange. Although it would explain why none have numbered among the Red Templars. And thus Seekers would be useless to Corypheus. He would have no leash to hold us.
You sound worried.
I am. The Seekers are my family.
Well, clearly she cares about her group, which is understandable. If you talk to Cassandra for a bit, she's very very deeply religious and very devoted to the Seekers. So it's no surprising that she's worried. Oh wow. That's the first time I've ever been knocked down. I love that. I'm gonna really like that chain ability. Like I said, Dorian and Vivienne just causing absolute chaos on the battlefield is awesome. got Dorian using barrier as anytime that he can. Vivian as well, but she's also doing attack. I think my strategy is working, if I do say so myself. Alright, let's see what else we have here. Some stuff to sell. Alright, searching. Let's take this. I'm a chronic saver. Apologize for that. Nice throne. Can I have it? Alright, looks like that way is progression, I think. Or maybe it's just like a two-way stair. Alright. Whoa. That chest looks corrupted. No, but we got some decent stuff. Let's see what's in the other hall. Alright, let's pause for 1 second and find out if the loot we have is any good. Alright, two-handed weapons. Nothing so far. This seems to be like a really good weapon. Despite the fact that it's so ugly. I don't like the look of it. If only I could change it. Would that I could. Alright, let's see if we got any better armor. Well, nope. The armor that we have looks pretty good, actually. We're going on that front. Any decent helmets? Nope. Let's find out something for Cassandra. So she's wearing the Masterwork Vanguard armor that I think I collected it. This does have better defense, but there are some bonuses that I like, and has increased maximum stamina by 10, which is also good. I might consider just keeping this until I can upgrade the arms and legs on this other one. Let's see if we have anything new like shields. Nope, this is still 14. And the Seeker shield is not as good. As far as one-handed weapons, yeah, that's obviously the best for her. Alright, Dorian. Go to staffs. Nothing new for him. Vivienne. Oh, she definitely needs a better staff. And looks like we got one right here. That's good. Armor. Mage, see if you have any mage armor. Yep. Nothing for now. This is for Canary, so I can just put that in valuables or the junk pile. Pretty good ring. I like that one. Let's add it. Alright, that's enough. I have low health. I realize that, but I don't feel like I'm in any danger, so...
Daniel! Daniel! Can you hear me?
Cassandra. It is you. You're alive.
As are you. I'm so glad I found you.
No, they put a demon inside me. It's tearing me up.
What? You can't be possessed. That's impossible.
I'm not possessed. They fed me things. I can feel it growing.
Can a demon be grown inside someone?
Savages. I will tear every last one of them apart.
No. The Lord Seeker.
Of course we'll find him. If he lives, we'll...
Lucius betrayed us, Cassandra. He sent us here, one by one. An important mission, he said. Lies. He was here with them all along. He's still working with them.
But we met Lord Seeker Lucius in Val Royeaux. He couldn't have been here.
That wasn't him. It was a demon, masquerading.
What? How could that be?
The Lord Seeker allowed it. He let the demon take command while he...
Came here.
Cassandra.
Now is not the time for sympathy.
Wait. Don't leave me like this, please.
You should have come with me. You didn't believe in the war any more than I did.
You know me. I wanted that promotion.
Go to the Maker's side, Daniel. You will be welcome.
Ooh.
He was my apprentice. I have never known a finer young man. Now we find Lord Seeker Lucius.
Yep. That's definitely what we need to do. But first, let's see if there's any loot. Okay, this doesn't look like the looting place here. Alright, so, Lord Seeker, your days are numbered. You've done wrong by Cassandra. And by that fact alone, you gotta die. Let's find this guy and bring him down. Looks like we're almost there. We're basically here. This is it, Cassandra. Time for revenge.
Lord Seeker Lucius.
Cassandra, with a man I can only assume is the new Inquisitor.
Oh, buddy, you've got a lot to answer for.
You must be very proud of your handiwork.
I presume you know we Seekers of Truth were once the original Inquisition. Oh yes. We fought to restore order in a time of madness long ago, as you do now. And we became proud. We sought to remake the world, to make it better. But what did we create? The Chantry, the Circles of Magi. A war that will see no end.
Great, so it looks like he's helping the bad guy. Oh man. And he betrayed his people. Dude, you betrayed your own people.
You lured your entire order to their deaths.
There was no other choice.
No other choice? Have you gone mad?
We Seekers are abominations, Cassandra. We created a decaying world and fought to preserve it even as it crumbled. We had to be stopped. You don't believe me? See for yourself. The secrets of our order passed to me after the former Lord Seeker was slain. The war with the mages had already begun, but it was not too late for me to do the right thing.
The right thing? Okay, never mind. We need to stop him right now. He's gone
Don't
crazy.
listen, Cassandra. We need to end this.
What Corypheus did with the Templars does not matter. I have seen the future.
Yes, so have I.
A new order to replace the old. The world will end so we can start anew. A pure beginning. Join us, Cassandra. It is the Maker's will.
That was easy.
He was insane. He had to be. The influence of Corypheus, perhaps? Was he trying to disable the Seekers?
If so, it worked.
If so, the plan worked perfectly.
He could not have destroyed all of us. I won't accept it. Let us return to Skyhold. I wish to see what's in this book of secrets.
Alright, that was a short mission. I was expecting a little bit of a tougher fight, but okay. Alright, I need to make inventory space because I have so much stuff in my inventory. Alright, I can, yeah, get rid of a few things. Yeah, I can get rid of that. I can just go to the valuables page and just get rid of some stuff. I would sell it, but yeah. It's not the time to cry over spilled milk. Alright, I think that should be enough room to take all of this. Yep, alright. That should be... I don't think there are any other... I don't think there's anything else here. At least I don't think so. Oh, a few things. Some money. And what's this? Alright. Nothing too bad. Yeah, so, Lord Seeker went cuckoo. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Alright, back to Skyhold. Let's follow up with, Cassandra. She must be burning mad. And a little bit sad because, like, probably most of her order has been wiped out. And the Inquisition could really use the Seekers. They're like the badasses of the Templars. Alright, Cassandra, let's debrief and see how you're feeling.
This tome has passed from Lord Seeker to Lord Seeker, since the time of the old Inquisition. And now it falls to me.
You all right? You look drained.
On the contrary, it's a delight. I'm riveted.
Oh, you're joking.
Do you know what the Rite of Tranquility is? The last resort used on mages in the Circle, leaving them unable to cast, but depriving them of dreams and all emotion. It should only be used on those who cannot control their abilities, but that has not always been the case.
Is that the only thing what the book says?
Does the book say it was used for other things?
No. As a Seeker, I looked into abuses. Mages made Tranquil as punishment. What finally began the Mage Rebellion was the discovery the Rite of Tranquility could be reversed. The Lord Seeker at the time covered it up, harshly. There were deaths. It was dangerous knowledge, the shock of its discovery in addition to what happened in Kirkwall. But it appears we've always known how to reverse the Rite, from the beginning.
Oh, huh. This is some interesting development. So there's always been a way to reverse the Tranquil of mages. If you've ever seen a Tranquil mage, they're like really emotionless and dry and boring. And finding the way to reverse that is a huge, huge deal for mages all over the world. So, well, like, this Seeker has been covered pretty much since the beginning, which is not surprising, but it kind of seems like I'm going to go with this one because it kind of seems like this whole rebellion kind of seems pointless.
So the rebellion could have been prevented.
Perhaps, but it was a long time coming, for many reasons. We created the Rite of Tranquility. I told you of my vigil, the months I spent emptying myself of all emotion. I was made tranquil, and didn't even know. Then the vigil summoned the spirit of faith to touch my mind. That broke tranquility, and gave me my abilities. The Seekers did not share that secret. Not with me, not with the Chantry, not even with... There's more. Lucius was not wrong about the Order. I thought to rebuild the Seekers once victory was ours. Now I'm not certain it deserves to be rebuilt.
That's an interesting process to actually become a Seeker. You're made tranquil, and then it's reversed. You get touched by, I guess, some kind of faith thing, and then you get your powers. Alright, let's find out what else this book say.
You said there was more in the book.
At some point, power becomes its own master. We cast aside ideals in favor of expedience, and tell ourselves it was all necessary for the people. Will that happen to us, Inquisitor? Will we repeat history?
Not under my watch.
No, we're nothing like the Seekers.
I wonder how much we resemble what they used to be.
If you did rebuild the Seekers, how would you do it?
I can't be the only one remaining. We will always spread to the winds, and some may still be out there. I would find them one by one. We would all read this book, no more secrets. Then together we would establish a new charter. The Maker's work in truth.
You keep saying that, but what is the Maker's work?
There is no way to know for certain. That is why we must seek it out. Perhaps we lost our way because we stopped looking.
Well, looks like we have a romance option. This is also a pretty good option if you're not romancing her, but looks like we gotta go with this one. So, you can do anything.
If anyone can rebuild them into something worthwhile, you can.
But are they worth rebuilding?
You could make them worth it.
I will think on your words. Thank you. I could not have done this on my own.
Alright, we got some influence and experience. Oh, and some PowerPoints. That's always nice. So, earlier we saw that the war table, agents, I'm gonna call them, can report in. So let's see what they have. Ooh. Oh, where are my glasses? My nose really itchy. Okay, let's look at this one. 60 influence. This was for Josephine's. Trying to promote a family to nobility status. Looks like it worked. Yada yada. Who cares? Yeah, blah blah blah. Lots of writing. Okay. This report's ready. This is Cole's friends. And they're honored to serve. Alright, that's good. Glad to have you aboard. This is expose the double agent. Looks like we have exposed a double agent working against us. That's good. He's out of the picture. Fine with me. So, what I want to do now is we can unlock a, oh,
Nothing yet.
well. Every time you enter the War Council, there's like at least 1 or 2 lines of banter between people. Alright, So these icons, we can unlock new areas. Cost only 8. I got 50. It's all good. Western approach. Let's just go here and set up camp, and then we'll come back. Cause I want to do more things. I want to unlock some more areas. But I do want to see what this area looks like.
Visitor, welcome to the Western Approach. We've sighted Warden activity to the southwest, but no one's been close enough to figure out what they're doing. Between the sandstorms and the vicious wildlife, we haven't made it far out here. One of my men got too close to a poison hot spring and gave me a slightly delirious report of a high dragon flying overhead.
Uh-oh.
In short, this might just be the worst place in the entire world. Be careful out there.
Okay, so apparently you might be able to romance this dwarf character. Eh? 3 women at a time. I am a player, Inquisitor.
Are you worried about me?
Someone has to be. And try not to die. I don't want to deliver that report to Skyhold. We intercepted a Venatori messenger and, persuaded him to give up the orders he was carrying. We have them here. This entire place. It just feels like something's not right. Be careful.
Alright, that was Scout Harding, who I have promoted to Lieutenant because I can do that, even though the game won't let me.
Have something for you.
By the way, she is a very good scout. I'm just saying, she does her job well. Why not give... If the game would let me, I would. It's a lot of stuff we could gather materials for, but... Alright. And, Requisition Officer, what do you have for us?
Dispatch for you.
What is it?
You may want to look into this.
Sure, why not? Geological survey. So much fun. I can't wait. Oh, wow, there's a rift right there. Oh, I can take care of that. That's easy. Alright, every time you disrupt the rift, you stun all the enemies that spawn. Which is good if you can keep most of the enemies off you. sometimes it doesn't work, but what can you do? Alright, let's close it. Goody. And it looks like the western approach is a good spot if you're like level, I think, what am I? Level 12. Looks like a good spot for level 12 people, if you're, or possibly even level 10.
Inquisitor.
But for now, we're gonna go back to the war table because there are other areas to explore. And I gotta unlock them all, unlock some of them. Alright, back to Skyhold. Alright. Loading screen. Loving this game so far. After the disappointment of Dragon Age 2, I'm soaking this all in. This is much better than Dragon Age 2. I would say this is even better than Dragon Age Origins, even though I had fun with Dragon Age Origins. And I got a whole bunch of rich, snobby people in my castle. I don't know why I even want them here. Apparently they'll support me. Sure. Whatever. As long as they don't get in my way. Okay. Western Approach resources. Sure.
Any news on rifts beyond reach of the Inquisition?
Yes. And it is not good.
Oh, let's get resources. That's always nice. This is pretty short.
Let's see what we have.
Exalted Plains. Are there any more resources? We could do this. It's a bit longer. You can do it in 20 minutes. Sure, why not?
To work?
Okay, let's unlock the Exalted Plains.
We cannot neglect our soldiers' training.
Can we neglect roads? Our allies cannot take the same route through the mountains we did.
She's got a good point. But he also makes a good point too. Alright. New area unlocked. Alright, we have established an outpost in the Exalted Plains. Lead Scout Harding. Actually, it's Lieutenant Harding. Thank you very much, game. Alright. I just want the game to know that it's Lieutenant Harding. I've promoted her. She's in good standing to be Lieutenant Commander. she keeps up the good work.
Inquisitor, welcome to the Exalted Plains, a place with a long and bloody history. Even now, the region is volatile. This was a front in the Civil War. Now there's rebels called the Freemen of the Dales, recently emerged and adding to the chaos.
Man, I didn't realize, like, starting a, I guess, romance option. I didn't even know. Whatever. I already said what I needed to say, but I didn't realize that we can just continue this playful banter.
Must we dwell on such gloomy things?
I don't want to dwell, but look. It must have been so beautiful. Maybe even romantic.
What history were you talking about?
After the fall of Halam Sharal, what remained of the Elven army met the forces of the Exalted March here. When offered a chance to lay down their arms and surrender, they refused.
This rebel group. Tell me more about them.
They seem to be simple deserters, tired of fighting and dying for either the Empress or the Grand Duke. Now they want the Dales for their own. Worse, they're more organized than we anticipated. Be wary.
What else can you tell me?
Scouts have sighted Dalish elves. There must be a clan camped somewhere on the plains.
Alright. All I have to do is convince the Dalish that, they should join me.
That will be all. Thank you.
With the rifts and the undead, the Orlesians have lost ground. Most have been driven back to their forts. We have to stabilize the region, allowing the Imperial Army to re-establish its presence. Good luck, Your Worship. You'll need it.
I've news, sir.
What is it?
See for yourself, sir.
Okay, lots of stuff here. This is a Vivian quest. This is for Dorian. Good thing I have them both in my party. Oh, and Cassandra. Jeez. All down the line. That's good. Now I can just start claiming stuff as my own. Oh wow, there are enemies right near my camp. What level are they? 11? Oh. Oh, these are pansies. I can take these guys. Alright. Freeman Guardsmen. Alright. I don't... No, cancel that. For crying out loud. And I can't cancel an order. Damn. Darn. kind of just have to do it. Alright. Love that ability. Does it work on shielded guys? Not really. Yes.
Keep off the ramparts. I wonder why.
I was never good at doing what other people wanted.
These guys are already dying. Well, at least there isn't a dragon here. At least not yet.
Nothing to report, sir.
Good work, soldier. Alright. This area has been unlocked, which is always good. Those three are back, asking for more punishment. But we're gonna go back and unlock some more areas. So back to home base. Oh, not yet. But this is this is part of Josephine's quest, which in fact we can actually do that right now. It's probably just talking. Study of the Fifth Blight, Volume 2. They're talking about the Warden. No way. Oh, very lovely music coming in. You're going to meet royalty.
Those who oppose thee shall know the wrath of history.
It's the Grand Ball in the Winter Palace.
It seems like this Valriel's music is a tad bit louder than normal. Whatever. Alright, here's our contact.
Gaspard, he is in touch with his base animality and relieves an unexpected pleasure. You must have had a long journey to the city. Might there be any news from this house?
Oh, this is not our person contact. Oh, wait. I think we... Okay. Oh, yeah. Your lover is safe. Don't worry about it.
From Eleni. He's safe with his family in the Dales.
Oh, my Ellery. Oh, bless you. The Dions will sponsor the Duparakets as a family deserving of a noble title, Inquisitor. You have my word. Now please, forgive my hastiness, but I must read Ellery's words. Make her keep you.
Cool. Sounds good to me. Alright. Back to base. Let's see, and while we're going back to base, I'm gonna get a quick refreshment, and I'll be right back. Okay. Looks like we're back. Let's go check in on Josephine.
Law has asserted itself.
Inquisitor,
What happened here?
Whoa.
the House of Repose decided to pay a visit. The guards arrived in time, but I should have guessed the assassins would infiltrate the servants.
Uh-oh.
Are you sure they didn't hurt you?
They only frightened me. It was all so sudden. Leliana assigned people to shadow me. They appear to have saved my life. I owe you everything, Sergeant.
Only my duty, Ambassador. I'll talk with the spy master about these murderous louts. She'll find how they got in.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
I thought there'd be new dialogue. I think that little glitch is so weird. Like, you leave a conversation, but whatever. I think if we just leave, it'll just go away. Yep, it goes away. Alright. My guess is if we pick up a report, then her quest line will continue. I don't even think I picked it up. Sure. This one's in like 2 minutes. Alright. Enough of that. Okay, so updating Josephine's quest line is, oh, just returning to Skyhold and speaking with her. At least that's what I thought I was doing. Okay, let's try this again. Alright. Looks like they moved the dead body. Alright, let's try again.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
Okay, what's the next move?
What's the next favor we need to get these Duparakets a lordship?
We need a judge of the royal court to procure documents acknowledging them as nobility again.
Oh, okay. Alright, so now go back to the table and we just have that. And Liliana was right. This is the long way to finish this quest. Instead, we could just have Liliana just take the contract, get rid of it, but if you're trying to romance Josephine, you might want to do it the long way. Alright,
Skyhold does seem more secure than Haven.
Only if we have the numbers to defend it. A place like this serves no purpose without enough people to make the running worthwhile.
yeah, exactly what he said. So where is this mission? Nope, nope, nope. Nope. Ah, getting a judge. There we go. 18 minutes. Great.
Let us begin.
Very long. Alright. that's like some gathering resources stuff. Completed those. Yep, he's available. Got some more influence. That's good.
Did you see the message I sent?
Yes, thank you.
You can make a contact in the Emerald Groves, which is always good. I'm not sure if this was a story mission or not. I don't remember. I don't think so. I think story missions are just this. Yep. Yep, that... Yeah, just the green swirly things are actual main quest story missions. So, let's unlock the Emerald Groves. Nice drum beat.
Good to see you again, Inquisitor. Hope you've got your comfortable boots on. The scouts have seen a number of fade rifts all over the forest. We've located this mysterious Fairbanks. He won't share his information with anyone but you. He and his men are camped out at Watcher's Reach, on the path ahead. From what we can tell, they're refugees from the war. Peasants, mostly.
I do like these little chats.
I do enjoy these encounters. It's like we're getting to know each other.
We are, aren't we? Such a shame our meetings are so brief. But, you know, saving the world and all that. Busy, busy.
Tell me everything you know about Fairbanks.
We don't know much about him. He appeared after the Civil War started, helping people fleeing from the destruction. Fairbanks is likely not his real name.
Do you know anything else about the region?
They call this place the Emerald Graves. Legend says that a tree grows here for every elven knight of Halam Sharal who perished in its defense. Makes you sad, doesn't it?
What was done to the elves here was unforgivable.
Never again. At least I hope not.
Thank you for the information. I'll head out.
One other thing. A group of deserters from the Imperial armies has established itself here. Freemen of the Dales, they call themselves. They are hostile to the Inquisition, and everyone else. Watch your back, Inquisitor.
Okay, these freemen have come up again. It looks like there's another group that's in my way.
This might interest you, sir.
What is it?
I'm betting it's not.
Prove useful, sir.
Nah, I seriously doubt it.
I'm not made for the wilderness. I'm more taverns and big cities.
You would say that. This is a pretty decent camp, guys. Let me guess, he's all the way on the other end. Oh boy. Alright, this is like something Colin was involved in. Yep. Some side character missions. So, this one will be pretty quick. Actually, let's take care of one of the risks first. Okay.
I would prefer to have the Templars return to guarding the circles, Vivienne.
Of course, my dear. They need better oversight, clearly. But one does not throw away a tool because it was misused.
Few mages would ask for Templars in the circle.
Speak to Ferelden's first enchanter. You might be surprised. When abominations ravage your tower, suddenly the world holds far too few Templars.
Man, metal just growing all over the place. Oh wow, really? 7? Come on, not that many more. There we go. Alright, one more. There we go. Already found them. Spooky sounds means there's a shard around. Read us for us. Alright. Let's try this again. And that's how you best the game in climbing mountains. There we go. Alright. Let's continue our travels. All the cute little furry animals. Uh-oh. Enemies afoot. I'm kicking your butt. Ouch. That must have been an epic slam to do slow motion. Wow, really? Oh, what is this? That's some good levitating skills there, soldier. I should learn that.
How is it, Vivienne, that you weren't part of the rebellion with the rest of the Southern Mages?
Those of us outside of the circles could not be compelled to revolt.
Ah, nothing like solidarity.
This from a man who hails from a nation where mages kill each other for sport.
Ah, the banter. Alright, Fairbanks. Let's see what you have to say.
It is an honor to meet the Herald of Andraste.
You're too kind.
As much as I admire you, however, I did not reach out to the Inquisition just for this. As my missive stated, we can help each other. You have encountered the Freemen. Aggressive bastards, no? They've killed a dozen of my people. We've tried to fight, but we cannot match their strength. You can. Why should you care about this, you ask? Because the Freemen are colluding with your enemy.
Which enemy do you mean?
The rogue Templars. I've seen them through the woods, heading for the Freemen bases, leaving with crates. Destroy the Freemen, and they'll lead you straight to the Red Templars. This I promise.
That seems really convenient.
You've no proof. You're on your own. I won't kill the Freemen for you.
That's it. You're just walking away. This is the Herald of Andraste. Inquisitor.
It just seemed too convenient. That's all I'm saying. Fine, I'll see what I can do.
All my information about the Freemen is right here in our camp. Help us. And everything I know about the Dales, about these woods, I will share with the Inquisition.
Really can't just give me the information, huh? Oh boy. What am I going to do with you people? Oh, wow. Didn't mean to do that. Wait. Alright. I was like, don't tell me this thing is messed. Don't tell me the little claim mark is messed up. I did not mean to do that.
I'm sorry. I'm not in the mood to talk right now.
Alright. Can't help you with your problems if you don't talk. I'm wondering if the chest on those little map things is even worth it. I seriously doubt it.
You've adjusted to the Inquisition quickly, Vivian. We must lack many of the luxuries to which you are accustomed.
One does not survive the Orlesian court without learning to adapt, my dear.
Skyhold is hardly the Orlesian court.
You needn't tell me that. We all have our little sacrifices.
Yeah, sure, Vivi. Whatever you say. I don't think there's a way out of here. Not that I'm seeing.
I don't want to talk right now. Maybe later. I don't want to talk right now. Maybe later.
Looks like there's only one way in or out.
Don't look for trouble.
Sorry, buddy, but trouble finds me. It's just how it is. Oh, it's a shard. Nothing's a shard. Sure. Darn, I did not want to do that.
Keep your hands and weapons to yourself.
A bloodstone.
My dear Cassandra, I am impressed with how well organized the Inquisition was in the aftermath of the Conclave.
It was chaos. I would hardly call it organized.
Perspective, darling. The Chandri hasn't even found the right vestments for issuing a statement on the Divine's death.
Being more flexible than the Chantry is not a difficult goal.
Take your victories where you can, dear.
It's got a decent point. Is that a cave? Nope, no cave. Looks like we're gonna have to go around this in a really, really big mountain. A lot of this stuff. Alright. It has been claimed. You know, surprisingly haven't encountered a lot of bandits. This is the perfect spot for bandits. If I were a bandit, I'd tell my guys to come here. Oh yeah, I see some bandits. Alright. Looks like we are in bandit territory. Alright, that's main quest right there. But we're heading to this red lignum deposit. Alright, bandits, you're mine! Look at that. That's just perfect right there. In unison too. It's like, do I even have to play the game anymore? I can just stop having to kill a whole bunch of people. Better courtyard. Yes, I want a better courtyard. I'm gonna spruce it up. See, with my big sword, I should have been able to, like, cut a tree. Oh, wow, okay. Nope. Will I be able to jump this? Alright, I'm not gonna beat the game on that. Okay. I guess I had to find an entrance. This kind of seems more like a ginormously huge garden. Oh. What's up, fellas? Yeah, buddy. It's kind of what happens when you face me. Not gonna lie. Alright, there's some red liam right over here. Yo, I think they're mining it. There we go. Varric approves. I think it's always good when Varric approves. Why would you want to make him mad? I don't know. What's not there to like about Varric? And this is like a mighty big mansion. Oh, I need the key. You know, I'm pretty certain I can just knock this down with my superpower. Of course, the game won't let me. What was this? Oh, a plant. Alright, bandits, you had your fun. Yikes. Looks like he has guard too. Gotta be a little bit more careful. Nah, it doesn't work. Oh, it kind of does work actually. Oh, he is super slow. I like that. Whoops. Oh well. I'm back. No worries.
This was one of the people troubling those cave rats.
Does he have the key? Good. He has the key. Wow, really? Oh. It's probably a decent weapon, too. Yeah. Wait. Yes, I want to destroy it. Oh. Ancient writing's always good. That's what I want. Pretty sure it was this. Is one-handed or two? Yeah, it's two. Alright. 188's always good. I like that. Um, 166, alright. Get rid of that. Some ranged weapons. We can get rid of that. Nope, nothing better. Nothing too important.